I would like to introduce Street Picasso.
Bow ties, baby.
Stormy weather really bring out peaceful days. Thinking deeper, wonder will my people change? To make good art, you often show what you keep away. Paint them all the pictures so explicit they feel the need to pray. They showed their vulnerability. I really took a leap of faith. The opposition hoping they can smoke me before I seize the day. Reflecting all the evil slain, trying to release these chains. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. I see either way. If I gave you roses, would that shit make you focus? I guess that's why I wrote this. Help you just to own up. Telling me to hold up. I know I ain't gon' fold up. Powers in the people, and my people got this sold up. Yeah.
Okay, man. Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm Antonio.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm Antonio.
I mean, I'm Oakley, better known as Street Picasso.
Is that the only way you introduce yourself? Is that the only thing you're like alias you have?
Yeah, I mean, I just go by my real name. But when I start releasing my music, it's gonna change a little because when I do my music, it's Street Picasso because I really just reflect things that I experience in the streets. It's really my life triumphs and failures, and they all go into the story of the music. So I call it Street Picasso because I'm a reflection of the street.
Right.
You're a product of your own environment.
Right. Okay. Where are you from originally?
Yeah, I was born and raised here in Austin.
What side of Austin?
I mean, really all over. I first started growing up in, Hyde Park area to North Austin, but I was born at Brackenridge, which doesn't even exist now. They tore it down and made a children's hospital. But, I mean, whenever I claim my city, I just claim the city as a whole. It's never any certain part of it. And, there's not many people who do what I do who are from here.
Right.
I try to represent it well because it used to be considered the live music and art capital of the world.
Right.
And that just changed up throughout the decades.
I think I still consider it, or a lot of people still consider it, the art and music capital, at least of the U.S. But there's definitely not a lot of people from Austin that still lives and reside in Austin now. Do you think that takes away from what Austin is?
I mean, that's the biggest part of it is the city becomes where it's not even Austin anymore.
Right.
I mean, because it doesn't even have locals. It's supposed to have this ideology that's supposed to be this one thing. But if you take all the substance out of something, how can it remain true to what it's known for?
Right.
So everybody comes here looking for this certain type of vibe or scene. And I've always recreated it and tried to be like the spitting image of the artistic version of Austin that was maybe, 10 years ago.
Right.
And there was artists everywhere. And it was live art and music capital, not one or the other. And not like a very narrow view of what it should be, like the live music. There's really no hip-hop scene. It's just like home style bands.
Right.
That are trying to come out, and if you don't play an instrument, then you're really not going to get a gig at an establishment unless maybe you're paying them to perform.
Do you play an instrument?
No, I don't play any instruments, but I do all my own songwriting, and I put a lot of harmony into it. Like, I write all my own hooks. It's like I do all the work except for the electronic part.
Right.
Which is because I gotta focus on one thing or the other. I can't cover all aspects of a trade or a craft.
So, what would you consider your talent or talents to be? Like, what does Street Picasso bring to Austin? What do you sell every night? What do you? Because when I met you on 6th Street. You know, I was down there for maybe an hour. Wasn't even kicking it sober. You feel me? And your art caught me before I even knew that your art was with you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It spoke for itself. So what to you, what do your art or your music, or what are you throwing at people?
Well, I consider my art to be like, it's my version of preserving culture.
Mhm.
Because so many things they die off when they get forgotten. But the greatest things, you want to preserve them to where generations to come will still be talking about them. And you keep them alive through our memories, And that's why, I do so many Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley. And then I'm started doing Peter Tosh. I did a Bunny Wailer on a book. It's like I'm just doing all these different aspects of the reggae culture. So like these people are remembered. It's not just Bob Marley that they talk about whenever they're talking about reggae.
Right.
Because that's all anybody focuses on, with the Marley name.
Or one, I was about to say one of the Marleys, right?
Yeah, it could be one of the Sons, but I'm just saying. So and then like with like the rock scene, I'm doing. First, I did like 3 or 4 Grateful Dead paintings with like the skeleton, with the flowers, like the whole scene of like life and death combined. The Grateful Dead thing, and after that, I had to move on from that. Now I'm doing a whole collection of Jerry Garcia paintings. I've already done 3 of them. It's like I don't even want to sell these,
Right.
Because it's like some of my favorite pieces I've done,
Right.
And I just did them so abstract. Like one, it's like a psychedelic sky with the acrylic, swirled together into a rainbow of like mind fuckedness. And I don't like to cuss usually, but that's just the best way I could put that.
Right. I can respect it.
And then it's like, I build walls out of tree bark. You use the soft side of tree bark, it literally looks like polished stone. And then all oil paint from there. And it's like, sometimes if you paint it wet and then you stand the painting up, it's like it'll have tears of color that bleed down through the background.
Right.
And it's literally,
I saw that.
It adds so much more.
Like in the Come As You Are picture.
Yeah, it had that, definitely in that. And the Nirvana, it has so much more depth and emotion into it.
Right.
With that one, I gave it the upward bleed.
Right.
Like it's like reverse gravity.
So tell me about the picture that I bought from you. Can you tell me anything about that?
Okay.
Like, what's the name? I call it Lauryn Hill.
It's really untitled because when I first made it, I gave it very thick blue eyes.
Right.
That went around, and it really looked kind of inhuman, but it looked like Mystique when I first did Mystique off of X-Men. The eyes. It was like a shapeshifter. It could look like anything, but you're gonna recognize it by the eyes.
Under the UV light, it does look like it looks exactly like that.
Yeah,
That's really
and so
what sold me.
It still has that feel, kind of, but honestly, I try to make it more feminine and more realistic at the same time because it was like a full circle, pretty much. I said, nah, that's too much.
Right.
I covered it with the black again, so it's like 3 layers of paint, and then I always go fluorescent in the end. For the final details, I have to go fluorescent because it's like if you can make the eyes glow, it puts the life in the eyes. If you can make the eyes glow without it coming off as sinister, you did something great.
Yeah, true. As soon as you put the UV light, that's what happens. The eyes start to glow, like the eyes pop out.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it can make every piece feel dark, so you gotta be careful, and you gotta keep the best aspects at it.
Let me ask you this: do you feel like you have to do a drug to produce creativity to that level? And not just you. I mean, in general. Do you think like most of the best rappers, painters, down to porn stars, the best fuckers, like it's a stimulant? Do you think it's a drug? Do you think it's a or do you think it's just passion?
I think it's more of a mental thing.
A lock in?
I'm saying you can be totally the best at something. Of like basically, thousands of people, as long as basically like either one, you decide that you have no other option. Like this is
so when
the
your
only
back is
path
against the
you
wall,
can pursue.
like when your back is against the wall, you have to create that image.
Then you're gonna snap in a way that if you have nothing else, you feel like you have nothing else, and that is your identity.
Right.
Then you're gonna lose yourself to the point where you're fully invested to where you're not even doing the normal routine of everyday living because you're so drawn away and trying to pursue this dream, like, because eventually you're gonna have to have some kind of goals or aspirations.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just existing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you're not living, then it's not like what's the point, but like what are you gonna progress to? Like you have to always be evolving some way. And I say, especially say like with mushrooms.
Right.
So it's definitely altered my perception in an amazing way for my creativity. It's like it'll make me paint things different and it'll make me write my lyrics different.
Right.
And at first when I take mushrooms and I try to write, like, I could write some poetry, but it would just be off the wall. It almost not make sense.
Right.
When I first started, and it was hard to write music, but after practicing writing on mushrooms several times, it's like I'm a much more
open-minded,
passionate, and in-depth writer when I'm on them.
Okay.
But that means that I already have experience writing from this perspective, so I don't need to keep taking them to be able to be on to that next level of writing because like I already had that. I had that breakthrough.
Yeah, I got you.
So I can be totally sober and still write the same type of shit. I just gotta put myself back in that place.
Yeah. I got
I
you.
was, and same with acid. I actually, I like the feeling of acid more. It's more intense, but it basically gets the job done to the point where like I'm like 2 times. Like my motivation is through the freaking roof. I have so much energy when I'm out there performing, and I don't need it by any means, but I mean these are just examples of lifestyle and experiences I've had. I've definitely done some psychedelics just to see how it alters my creative process, because as an artist, I felt like it could benefit me in that way. I mean,
I genuinely feel like you can't tap in to how creative you can be without trying a drug once or twice, and definitely that's definitely an ignorant comment. You know what I'm saying? Because you can definitely be the best you could be fucking sober, but it's by being a rapper or a painter or a drawer, or it's an artistic expression. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this shit right here brings creative thoughts, in my opinion, through my experience. But on the same token, I haven't done too many drugs, so I don't have like too many experiences on drugs. And the only reason I haven't is because like my how can I say it? My tolerance is through the fucking floor. Like,
basically, it takes you more than most people.
No, it takes way less.
Oh, okay.
I get that. Like hell no. Like only thing that I can consume by the big quantities is weed.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Anything else like a pill or X or anything, like give me a quarter of a fucking. Excuse me. Give me a quarter of a pill, and like. Come check on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's not like I don't buy.
I didn't realize this was a leaf.
It's okay. We got some more right here.
Do you have a regular Rillo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not like it's not by choice, because like I know if I was to ever do like coke, I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love it, but if I did get my nose alone, it'll fucking bleed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I try something that's pretty sure my nose is gonna bleed? That's how I look at it.
I mean, I came from like basically my mom was like a true hippie.
Yeah.
I go to rainbow gatherings, go to Kerrville Folk Festival stuff, and so I mean she's never done any of that pharmaceutical stuff. I mean, same with me. I'm not a pill popper.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in coke a few times here and there, and I mean it's similar, but it's totally not. It's not as true, and it's not even as intense. It's just like
as what?
Of psychedelics.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a total different effect. I mean it just makes you wired. And it'll give you energy, but it doesn't make you creative.
Right. Okay. It just
That's the difference.
Give you speed and shit.
Yeah, with the other ones, it makes you just think from. It's almost like you're more in tune with the spirit, more in tune with yourself.
Right. I got
But I don't like to even glorify anything that.
And I might not even put a lot of the drug part in it. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind. And then anything I do put in it, I'll run it. We're gonna run it past each other plenty of times before I just like finish something and post it. It's never like that. So like you would know, you'll have say in every fucking part of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's never to be like to do something just to get views. If anything, my aim is to big both of us up and get us both followers and views, like real followers and real, you know what I'm saying? So don't ever, when working with me at least, don't ever feel like, oh, I'm going for the most juicy shit and I'm going to record whatever and post whatever. Like,
well, like I was saying, my biggest priority now is just opening that SoundCloud page, and why not do it YouTube while I'm at it? Just the main ones, and just make sure I secure that Street Picasso title, and I mean that'll be the next level. Is just whenever I can start promoting myself through my music and not just my art. So I mean everybody will see that I provide the best of both worlds when it's really like creating another world through colors, impressions, or words. I mean I've really gotten better at tying it all together as far as the poetry to the music to the art.
Say that again?
The transgressions of a thug.
The transgressions of a thug.
Because, you know, when I'm out there performing my music, and I mean, at first, you know, I really wasn't performing all my stuff and just giving my full identity as a songwriter, but now it's just, I'm out there with everything. And it's like I've had more, you know, kind of like gangsta, thugged out type of people acknowledge me more than ever.
Right.
The last tip I got, some big ass Debo looking dude dropped a $20 bill in my tip jar.
Right.
But I was speaking a song that's about police injustice and about black excellence.
Right.
So
Right.
it was a song that was strictly for boosting my people's not necessarily ego, but their confidence and their optimism towards the future.
Right. Street Picasso.
Yeah. Street Picasso, you know, all I do is reflect the streets and my experiences. And usually I try to give it to you in a positive way, but there's always got to be a little bit of darkness along your path to righteousness. And I mean, you can seek out the light, but if you're not acknowledging both sides, and sometimes you get lost in nothingness, falling in between. It's like the mid-plane. But I still got to speak my mind and just talk about the things that are real to my craft, my dreams.
I got a question for you. So you paint your pictures with a knife, correct?
Yeah, I only use a blade.
A blade.
Any type of blade, really, because sometimes I don't have my knife. I forget it. I can't find it. You know, I'm not going to dig through everything.
You want some of this?
Yeah. I've even used a stick, bro. If I can't find any of it, I'll go find a stick that's sturdy enough. It's got a good enough point, and I'm painting with the stick, bro.
I hear it. So, let me ask you this. Where did that start? Where did which started first? Stick, knife, blade?
All right, that's a good question because it started with me getting a set of paintbrushes because everybody knew I was like in the art. Like after I painted the first couple things, and I sold something, it was like, okay, this could be a thing for me. So like I had paintbrushes, I tried them out. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural to me. I don't have the smear and paint. It's just not my thing. It's like the first thing I tried after the paintbrush was literally a fucking box cutter.
What made you go
razor
there?
knife. Because I was like, okay, I want something where I can just pick up the paint and I can draw it on as precise as I want. You're not really drawing shit on with the paintbrush, but if you use the tip of a blade, it's gonna be more detailed.
It's finer than a pencil.
And I started with the roughest shit ever. Doing this shit for fucking, I've been writing the music for 10 years, you know, like whatever. But
right.
I've got over a freaking 100 songs I've written. I just used to be my own worst critic, and I throw away songs left and right. I was like, oh, this ain't good enough.
Have you ever thought about selling songs?
I'm not gonna be a ghostwriter. No.
Why?
Because all of my lyrics are too personal. It's just like all of it is in tune with the life that I've led and everything that I've been through. I've already had somebody try to like, hey, you write me a song off this beat. I started a verse, but I was like, nah, I ain't feeling it. You know?
Right.
I'm not gonna lose myself into something that I know is not even gonna be for me. Like that's not me. I'm a creator, and I've been a songwriter ever since. I tried to write songs, I couldn't write it. I was like writer's block, and I'm talking about like in my early 20s. And then I said, all right, well, I'm just gonna stick to poetry because I did poetry too. I became a street poet for 2 years. I wrote a bunch of poetry, and I just perform it in the streets. And I read a bunch of books. They were all fiction. It was either Michael Crichton or James Patterson.
Right.
But after reading all the books and being a poet, I went back to music. And that was the best thing I could have ever done because I finally was able. At one point, I wrote a poem that it had a flow like a hip-hop song. And then I wrote a hip-hop song that flowed better as a poem. It's like, okay, they go hand in hand now. So yeah, let me go back to writing the lyrics because that's my favorite part of creation, playing new beats.
Right.
Playing new beats, and it just starts with one line of poetry, and then you got a song. It's like, so you just go off of that first line, and whether it's poetic or not, it just might be energetic because it's so true to your experience. Like, so I'm just talking about the craziest shit you ever heard in the first few lines, and that's just the beginning of the song. So I use that momentum, and I'll fucking write 2, 3, 4 minutes if I have to.
Right. Okay, I have a question for you. Are there any like current events or current issues right now that's going on that you feel strongly about? I guess.
I feel strongly about.
Oh, okay. Not that you only feel strongly about, because that's pretty vague.
Okay.
Are there any current events right now that work with me? Let me see.
Coronavirus.
Okay.
This shit makes my skin crawl. Just the whole vaccine thing. It's been propaganda from the fucking beginning to me.
Right.
It's their chance for fucking got martial law. It's like they can control the whole population at the snap of a finger. That's all. And now I got friends. I got people getting the vaccine. They're getting sicker. Like, been sore for a week. The arm just feel like it's fucking just racked with pain for a week from getting the fucking vaccine. It's like, and people are getting affected worse from the coronavirus after getting vaccinated than not being vaccinated. From what I've seen, it's the whole fucking thing just That's why I want to get rich. So
Right.
I don't have to be somebody who's freaking like held down and forced to take this fucking vaccine. It's like, oh no, you're not gonna be risking. Like, you're not coming into this grocery store.
So do you feel like you feel like rich people are excluded from having to?
I don't think they're getting no vaccine. They say they're getting the vaccine all the
Right.
time just to make everyone else feel comfortable. All the celebrities are saying, yeah, we had it. We just got vaccinated. Like, just to
Right.
make it feel like it's okay and it becomes status quo.
Right.
It's total fucking propaganda. Like, I don't know if it ends your life. And basically shortens your life by 10 years.
Right.
It's gonna be some crazy shit though.
Right. I think everybody's gonna
It's
turn
like-
a zombie.
it's
I
like-
think
that's
everybody's gonna turn a zombie.
the first thing I said. I didn't want to
Yeah.
say that because I
Yeah.
felt like that was too explicit.
Yeah, it's
But
hard. It's
real
said
shit,
to make
bro.
people infertile. I think that's like step one.
That's the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not touching it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have to, that's all I can say about it. That's even worse than politics. Man. I don't even like getting into politics. That's because I have no financial power. Like, I'm not, and I've came really close to winning the lottery
Right.
multiple times. Like, literally, I just didn't. I didn't have so much money that I was confident enough to be playing the numbers on that night because I've been fucking scraping by my whole life. But I would have already been 100 times over millionaire, and that ain't even no lie. It's just, and that's why I'm so freaking crazy. Where I've snapped, like all I have is my craft. So I'm just gonna take it to the fucking extreme. I'm gonna be the best songwriter and rapper, and I'm gonna be the best fucking painter out of like anybody that I come across because I've done events and like everybody's kind of timid and that shit is more abstract. I try to get like in depth, like vivid.
Right.
It's popping out at you.
Right.
Like I try to go from 3D to 5D. And 5D is even a fucking thing, but I'm talking about like the graffiti wall pieces that I use. I just bring shit to life. And that's usually everybody's favorite shit. Is that mixed media where it's like found material.
How would you classify or genreize? What genre would you put your art in general, like your music?
My art would be surrealism, nature bound, vivid, psychedelic. It was like, because I use aspects of nature, it's just surreal because it seems like too insane to be true, but anything's possible. And I put enough realism into it that it creates wonder. If you can create wonder in somebody's mind, then that's the beginning to succeeding on any level with the person.
Right, I agree.
And it was like, if you can spark some kind of like creative thinking or one of like mystery, and that's just the beginning. It's like beyond that, yeah, there's the fucking story, there's the process, and then there's the struggle that it took to lead up to that point.
Are you, by you expressing yourself through art, do you like are you sending a message?
I mean, my art is definitely a message. I even have a Pink Floyd, the Scream face. Basically the mouth dark open is like anguish and torture, and it says I can't breathe at the top. And I made that bitch a couple months after they killed George Floyd.
Right.
And it's like, it's Pink Floyd, I can't breathe. And I made it all fucking psychedelic, and I outlined it in the graffiti wall in mosaic tile. And then I fit the letters in between the material. And I just 3 layers of paint just to make the fucking paint pop out like the fucking graffiti walls popping out. And that was the biggest statement I ever made in a painting.
Right.
I made a fucking Pink Floyd, I can't breathe, in honor of George Floyd.
Right.
And the face is the fucking anguish and the misery of all the African American people that they freaking slaughtered in name of nothing, just injustice. And like what's his name, Orlando Castile, whatever the motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
He said, I have a firearm in my car just to let you know. He said, no, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. Then he just empties the clip on him. He never even touched the gun.
Right.
Just because he said I'm black and I have a gun in my car he killed him. It was an Asian cop too.
Right.
Philando Castile. That was his name. And that's just one of, I have all these names memorized. They're infused into my fucking brain. I couldn't ever forget it. And that was like 4 years ago,
Right.
3 years ago, whatever. It's like not just George Floyd, all of them. Because I used to be, every week I'd look up police shooting.
Right.
And every week there'd be another black person shot dead in the street. But I don't do that anymore. I was fucking bringing too much negativity into my aura. It was like, that's why you can't really write music.
Yeah.
If you have that dark mind state all the time, of feeling tried and just feeling like there's some kind of get back. But I mean, it can't be me because there's more purpose. There's bigger things meant for me. I'm not just gonna be a foot soldier to go in there and fucking crash dummy. You know, because I know that I can get my story out through my music and help a whole city or help a whole fucking state, the whole world eventually. I mean,
Right.
if I can get that freaking little bit of wealth and get that start, just to be able to move my message.
That gets me into my next question. What do you feel like your biggest challenges are, or has been starting that? Like getting your
Not
break.
being able to get ahead financially, having to work a 9 to 5 and hustle, but then it's like I can't be my best at my craft, and I feel like I'm just stuck in that routine. So that's why I quit my job. It's been over 2 years since I quit my moving job,
Right.
to sell my art full time.
And who's been your biggest influences as far as music and art goes? First, music.
Music, Tupac was the very first one. I compared Tupac and Biggie. I read their whole story, but I just felt heartbroken about Tupac's loss. I didn't even get to start listening to rap till I was 16.
Right.
I had to listen to whatever my sisters listened to. They're both white.
Right.
And when I heard that, and it basically stopped time for me.
Right.
And it was like that's where I found myself in music. I just wanted to lose myself, like he does in the song. I want to be known as Street Picasso, but of course they can always refer to my Instagram at 6th Street Picasso because I started on 6th Street.
Yeah.
I mean, that was where I sold my very first painting.